Hey, thanks for joining me. Travis from the Knife Joker. Tonight coming at you with, well, a quick view, a introduction, kind of a first impressions of a new model finally coming to fruition here in the Jack 2.0. Yes, the Jack 2.0 finally coming out from Reate Knives, and I keep said finally twice already. Well, it just seems like it's been talked about for a little while that it was going to come out, and well, they do send you some extra screws there in the pouch. Quite a few screws here on the Jack 2.0 as you see, and quite a few screws in the bag. So yeah, finally coming out, because did get to handle these at Blade Show Atlanta in 2019, and again at Blade Show West in Portland in 2019. So man, it feels like these have been coming out forever, but well, they're finally here today, really coming out today. You know, a few prototypes had been released at the shows, and well, they usually go fast, so probably should have snagged one up a while back since I was tired of waiting already. But I don't think it's been over a year or anything crazy. They're out. We've got 4 versions here in front of us. Seems like they came out with 8 versions altogether. 4 carbon fiber and 4 micarta, which are not here on the table. And I guess we're also tossed in a free gift, kind of a no charge gift from Reate for having interest in the Jack, and you know, possibly for the wait. Like I said, I felt like I waited a long time, so they're throwing in a free gift now. We'll get to that here in a moment. Let's check out one of these Jacks here up a little bit closer. Finally get to see one. Start with this Bead Blast edition and close it up so I don't slice myself down. There's that carbon fiber they went with, and it looks pretty dramatic. It is curved there, so you know that does help show that carbon fiber. Got that little contoured line there on the bottom as well, just leaving that little space all the way around. And the scale doesn't quite cover the titanium frame underneath. Of course, the titanium frame just being one piece of titanium, I mean, it is a integral titanium frame here, so spinning that around pretty fast. Let's just check out that titanium frame. This one piece of titanium here, similar as the Jack 1 on the back, a little bit different. But yeah, just leaving kind of that millimeter or 2 all the way around. Of course, that new pivot, another one of the dramatic things about this Jack 2.0. And then, well, spun around there, you got screws on the back of the blade. Not too normal. That external stop pin there. And just a pretty plain titanium bead blast. Well, this is the bead blast version. Clip. Got little added Reate name, little surprise there, kind of on the back. You know, when that's down in your pocket, you know, somebody else is just gonna see, or you could look down, you're gonna see that Reate logo there in your pocket, and pretty cool. There on the back side, good spot for it. Let's check out that pivot. Why so many screws? And well, you can see maybe it's kind of a replaceable cap here, and these screws, well, replaceable blade, swap-outable blade, swappable, swap-outable. That could be a word. definitely different. You know, I haven't seen that. I mean, I thought I paid attention to the knife world. Just, it's never been in my knife world with that swap-outable blade. Makes a dramatic look, you know, with the 3D backing here, and of course the different finish. Of course, these blades right here doesn't even say what it is on the blade. No markings on the blade that I see. So these are supposedly Bowler M390, hand rubbed Bowler M390, and I say supposedly. Doesn't really matter if you put M390 on the blade or not, because there it is. Hand rubbed Bowler M390 blade, straight edge, just like, yeah, really almost like a shaving knife. Real straight edge. And I think these ones are coming extremely sharp. Haven't used one yet. These, I mean, just now finally seeing these. Let's glance at another one. We'll start glancing at another one as we talk about them. This flamed version. Flame titanium back. Flame titanium. I don't know what you call this. The blade spine? Well, probably. The blade holder, the blade insert. You see that flamed one? That flame clip. Of course, the one piece of titanium flamed there. Same blade. Get out this last one. Last version here. Give another little closer look. And you can see, you know, that two-piece blade. That sounds crazy to say. In a sturdy knife, like in a knife world, a two-piece blade. You know, I'm sure other companies have done it, and well, I just don't, maybe never paid attention to two-piece blades before. Thought it'd be pretty strong, I think, the way they've made that. You could see, quick glance on this comb, how far that titanium is going to be inserted into the blade holder or knife spine, whatever the term is for this piece. I'm not as familiar with it. You know, they're at Blade Show 2019 in Atlanta. They did have one of these completely apart. I have one random pic somewhere in my cell phone, but it does show, you know, how this is made and how the inside of this is really all M390 steel. So once again, you have that Bowler M390 blade, the titanium spine frame blade holder, and inside you have a M390 insert. Of course, I just opened these. You know, I'm not taking them apart right this moment. Perhaps I will make another video and take one apart, or we'll all watch somebody else's video. But it's possible I might end up taking one of these apart here in the next video or 3 from the channel. It's pretty interesting to see how sturdy and well made it is inside. And it's funny, I swear, I thought, well, I shouldn't swear, I thought this model had won knife awards at the Blade Show West, and maybe I was imagining things, maybe I was wrong. You know, I was at Blade Show West 2019, and towards the end, I thought I saw that this won some kind of award, an innovation award, or maybe an import knife for the folding knife, some kind of award. And then I tried to look it up before making the video, and I can't find it. So maybe it didn't win anything. I could have sworn it won a couple awards at some of these shows just for the innovation of it, but like I say, could be wrong. I'm gonna shut up for a second here, and this knife has a real, well, every knife has its own sound when it opens, and Just the detent on these being the way they are, the carbon fiber laying on the titanium like that, and this pen stop slamming into the titanium right here, it just makes a beautiful sound. Well, if you're a knife guy, I mean, there's a lot of knives that make a nice sound, maybe when they're closing or maybe when they're opening. It's kind of, a subtle thing, especially when you're alone with your knife and, you're closing it, and a lot of knife guys, it just sounds so solid and well made. So probably just flip them open 15 to 20 times there, so sorry about that. It's addicting. Somebody else, we're not going over knife styles really, but somebody else was saying, why a flipper knife, and I think part of it is just for the fun. It's the fidget factor, it's the fun factor, and otherwise, why do you need a flipper? You don't. It's fun. Let's check out the size of this jack. I'm gonna randomly talk about things on this video. Yeah, there's my large size hand. If you watch my other channel, you've seen me hold quite a few knives. The one thing about this, it is super comfortable. If you lay your thumb down on the back of this being straight and rounded the way it is, super comfortable. This finger choil, I don't know. I don't think I have that fat of fingers. I would barely use it. I would say I'd barely use it or not. There's no way I'm going to go in there, past that first knuckle. That first knuckle, and that's it. I'm not going in this far. That M390 is just too sharp. Let's check out that blade. Try to see that blade grind if I can. Just a flat grind. And once again, I guess I mentioned it really reminds me of possibly like just a shaving knife that you would see in the barber shop. Of course, a $475 shaving knife. I do have, I like the Reate knives. I like the big knives. Super comfortable to me, besides maybe the choil. The choil, yeah, it's just the wrong size. But otherwise, do love the look of that blade. Can't wait to start using one of these. I think it's going to be a great slicer. Even though it's that hollow grind, still be strong. One thing that I do wonder about is slicing all the way through. Say we're not shaving, we're going to slice all the way through cardboard. Is that cardboard going to catch here on the wider part of this spine? I haven't used it yet. Can't wait to try one of these out and see, how much resistance you will get off this edge. It's definitely not very sharp there, so you probably won't get too much, just like a flat grind, it widens out all the way up. But I don't know if you're gonna, catch that edge with whatever you're cutting, meat or cheese. Could be any of those things. Be good to get a real measurement on one of these. Most people do that first. I have a 3.75 inch blade. We've got a 3.5 inch usable cutting edge. Of course, the knife overall, you're looking at about 8.5 inches. Putting that closed handle down to about 5 inches. So not small, but smaller than the jack than the original jack. That original jack, it's just a different knife. They said jack 2.0, and well, I don't know. I was a little confused. I think a lot of people are. They're not quite sure why we have the Jack and the Jack 2.0. It's a lot of a different knife. And if you read my description on the Knife Joker, I think I wrote it. Um, it it's a completely different knife. It's a completely different design. So I don't know. Still designed by Solo Jack, and that it is his second integral design, and it's probably why we're getting to the Jack point, Jack 2.0, because maybe this is why right here. Really, it's a very similar frame in all reality. Similar cutout on the back, well, lanyard hole. Of course, these inlays are, well, pretty inlays. And these inlays are kind of really like onlays to me. Well, I call it an onlay. I don't know really if that's a word, but I've used it before. And so this one has the onlays and this one has the inlays. So it's just, I don't want to point out all the differences, but yeah. Beyond the frame itself, it's completely different. I will have to say this clip works great in and out of your pocket if you're familiar with the Jack 1 at all. And this one, tried it in out of my pocket a lot of times today just to check it out, and it's good in and out of your pocket. So another similarity, but doesn't go too much further than that, except for maybe just the quality and how good it feels in hand. And you can see another difference to me. One of the things I noticed right off the bat on the Jack 2.0 on the Jack was it was kind of like a two-finger cutout on that front area, and on the Jack 2 it's kind of like a one finger cutout area. So one of the first things I really noticed when I picked it up, of course, smaller and a little bit lighter and all that. Let's get a weight on one of these. Be a great idea. Like I said, these all just being the carbon fiber versions. I don't have the micarta versions here. Probably vary a little tiny bit on the weight. Just under 5 ounces. Let's hit one of these other ones. Same thing, different finish. Yeah, just under 5 ounces. So that's quite a bit lighter than this original Jack. Of course, the original Jack also had the brass version, which everybody thinks weighs more than it actually does. It's under 9 ounces. But yeah, it's almost twice. It's almost twice that other knife. But yeah, the original Jack has those brass scales available. So I don't think the brass scales were as popular. I love mine and have kept mine. But I don't think the brass was definitely not as popular as the carbon fiber was. So you're seeing no brass option on the Jack 2.0. But yeah, the brass option was nice. Probably kept more than I should have. I don't know. The Jack 1, I know it's a Jack 2.0 video, but if you don't know the Jack, you should. And if you do know it, it's just one of the most solid, well-made knives to me, and a few other people have mentioned that to me. So I like the brass version and that carbon fiber version. You did have a lot of versions on the original Jack. Different finishes, colors, and so forth. So same thing here on the Jack 2.0, just no blue, no bronze, but you do have that PVD, the bead blast. You got this flame version, and I have not mentioned, because I don't have one here in front of me, they do have the wheel, well, if I could say it, the wire wheel finish version of the Jack 2.0. I mean, I brought out this Liangma XV just to show you really the finish of the wire wheel. It's a brighter finish. It's a wire wheel titanium. And, well, that XV just happens to be another integral made by Reate. So yeah, you know, you would get a finish like this on your Jack 2.0 and, you know, obviously give it a different contrast on that carbon fiber, whether it's the light silver or the medium gray or the flame. So yeah, I wish I had one of these here. Just unfortunately, didn't have one. The comb. There it is, sitting there. You know, it's a nice free gift. Super high quality titanium comb. And pretty darn cool. To where that's just gonna screw that right on there and have yourself like the nicest comb around. Pretty sweet deal. You know, you just don't want to forget when you got your blade and your comb mixed up, but you know, one in there at a time. And you know, I think almost all of us knife nuts probably combo carry. So if you bust out comb like this, probably nobody else has one. But beyond that, you could have you could still have 3 other knives on you. You know, you don't have to have 4 knives on you, but you could. You know, if you put the comb in there, you're definitely going to combo carry. Hopefully, you still have a knife on you. It's a cool comb. And it's a great gesture from David and Reate Knives, just for the interest in this knife. It also opens up the whole world of what this knife, you know, could be. Hopefully the plans are to be. The blade is replaceable. These caps are replaceable. I mean, technically, well, I don't know if those scales are, but I know the caps are and this blade is. So the blade's the easiest thing to swap. And at Blade Show, they had the Mokatai versions. They also had the Damasteel versions. And there's been requests already from some of my customers for something besides, you know, a Warren Cliff blade, some type of a spear point blade, truly. So I think already there is plans for the Damasteel blades to come. Is there plans for a spear point blade to come? I mean, maybe not. I'm not sure, you know, how well it would work in that frame, but it could be endless well, not endless, but it could be a lot of possibilities here for the people who like to customize, or, you know, people who like Hot Wheels or those racetrack cars. Maybe get a couple different caps, a couple different blades, and maybe, I'm not sure if those scales are swappable or not, but I don't know how you get that one off. I'll have to maybe do a take apart video or watch somebody else's here soon. Learn a little bit more about the disassembly and so forth, and the true bearing system in there. 3 of these straight out of the box today, and just pretty impressed. Just checking out to see how smooth these things are right out of the box, or out of the bag, the box, the pouch, the plastic bag in the pouch. Yeah, so once again, I wish I did have those other versions here, my Carta ones, and possibly that. Don't forget about the Wild World version. But there it is, the comb and the Jack 2.0. If you do like the video, please hit the like button. And if you like the channel, be sure to subscribe to see the next video coming up. Last look at those. It feels like I've been waiting 2 years. It hasn't even been 7 months yet. See you next time.